Hey guys, how's it going? Timmy Tactical here. Pretty stoked to be doing a video. I know I haven't done one in a while, just been a little busy. So today I want to talk about my Glock 30 a little bit more, especially since I've owned it for almost a year now. I've got about 2,000 plus rounds through it. I'm not sure exactly, but I know it's in that general area. So with that, I've developed some pros and some cons, which some likes and dislikes, and I'm just going to go over that. And also, before I get into that, I want to kind of go over what I'm going to do for the channel. So one thing I want to do is I want to kind of incorporate some of my car videos. So you guys will be seeing that. Hopefully you like it. If not, just let me know. So I'll be doing a separate playlist for some of my car reviews and how-tos. So without that, or with that, let's go ahead and get into it. So empty magazine. All 10 of the rounds are over here. Okay, so you guys know it's unloaded. So let's go ahead and start with pros. First thing I'd say I love about it is 10 rounds of 45 ACP in such a small package. Now, it's not the smallest package, but it's a small package. So that's one of the things that I absolutely love about it. 45 isn't a godsend like some people believe. In fact, sometimes 9mm could be more economical, especially since ammo's cheaper. But 45 has excellent stopping power. That's been proven in World War II many a times. So to have 10 rounds of that in a somewhat concealable package, that's one of the things I love about it. Also, its reliability. When I first got this firearm, although it's a soft shooting 45, it's still a 45. So I had some limp wristing issues. Again, that was my fault. And so with that, it was still cycling pretty well. When I went to the range with a friend of mine, I had actually managed to limp wrist it, and it jammed in a sense, but it stovepiped, and in the midst of it stovepiping, somehow it was, I guess it caught the end of the rim on the cartridge, and it's still loaded around in the chamber. So that's incredible. So I definitely trust this with my life. Now I'm gonna mix it up with a few of the cons, what I don't like. Okay, so again, it's thick. It's not super thick, but it's still thick. Especially when you put it up against smaller firearms that are on the market, like the XDS, the 36, which is the smaller variant of this one, and the M&P Shield 45, which came out a couple months ago. So there's definitely smaller options if you're worried about printing. But with that, you lose round capacity. It's literally shaving off your rounds, because this is double stack, those are single stack. You get 5, 6, or 7 rounds, while this one you get 10. So I guess thickness, again, that's a little bit of a con for me. Second is, I didn't realize what Glock slap or Glock thumb is until I actually started to fire this more. So they give you a complimentary tattoo. The stippling on the front of the trigger, depending on how many rounds you fire through this thing, like in one session I fired about 400 rounds, and that was when I was out shooting with a few buddies, and I noticed that the front of my finger was a bit numb. And at first I thought it was my grip, so I firmed it up, but my grouping was fine, so I knew, there was no grip issue. And going on the Glock forums, I found that this is what people were referring to as Glock thumb, quote unquote. So that's a small con. I mean, God forbid you're not going to be in a situation where you're firing 400 rounds. Like, if you're in that, that's a fucked up day, excuse my language, but if you're in a shootout where you have to fire over 400 rounds, you should probably run, because the liberal jury would tear you apart. Well, why did you sit there firing all those rounds when you could have ran? Anyway, that's just a little bit of humor. So that's one of the downsides. Again, it's not a huge issue for me, but it is there. What else, if I must say? I really can't find anything else. I guess that's a good thing. So we went over that, the Glock thumb, the thickness and the weight, but again, that's solvable. Oh, there is one video, that's actually one thing I wanted to get into, excuse me. One of my subscribers mentioned that SF stands for slim frame. Obviously, as you guys know, it's not at all slim. It's actually short frame. So short frame, as in the first generation Glock 30s had the bump here actually started a lot earlier, because literally what they did was they took a 21 and they cut it in half, basically, or cut a portion of it off. So the palm started a lot earlier, and it was harder to get the web of your hand here and so people with smaller hands would have difficulty getting their finger around the entire trigger. So what they did was they created the short frame and they kind of buffed it out a little bit more so that it starts a lot later, the swell. So it's here and it's easier to fire. So it's not slim frame, it's short frame, just so you know. And yeah, that's about it. I plan on adjusting the sights or getting new ones for that matter. And cosmetically, it's good. I try to take care of my firearms as much as I can. So cosmetically, it's an amazing little deal here. So you can't go wrong with it. I love it. Also, I finally picked up a shotgun. I got a Mossberg Persuader, so I'll be doing a video on that. I want to do more outdoors shooting videos, so you guys keep an eye out for those. Again, I thank you for subscribing to my channel. I thank every single one of you guys, especially Dirt Road. He's been a huge supporter of my channel, and it's nice to see his channel grow so much. So you guys check him out. And without further ado, you guys have a good day. Thanks for watching.